In 2012, Barack Obama's Homeland Security Secretary, Janet Napolitano, rolled out the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals program, also known as DACA. Over 800,000 illegal immigrant children, or more, have been blocked from deportation and allowed to remain in the U.S. through the DACA program through 2021. Donald Trump moved to terminate DACA, but the Supreme Court backed immigration advocates in 2020. In July 2021, a federal judge ruled that first-time DACA applicants were barred from applying to the program. Now, here's where we get into the details of what makes this program ripe for fraud. DACA allowed non-citizens who were then under the age of 31 and had entered America before turning 16 years old and before 2007 to request that the government not deport them. DACA children, also called Dreamers for the sake of political optics, were not granted technical citizenship status, but were granted most of the benefits of citizenship anyway. This included driver's licenses, work permits, and social security numbers. In many states, this kind of documentation also allows them to vote, despite living in the U.S. illegally. We're looking at you, California. Here's where the fraud comes in. For more than a decade, you just had to apply for Dreamer status and you were in the system. All of the benefits, none of the penalties. And by penalties, I mean taxes, for the most part. Sure, they pay sales tax when buying something, but income tax? Non-citizens don't file tax forms. That's just for us dum-dums. So, you have to be under 31 years old and entered the country before 2007. Is there anything to stop a 40-year-old from claiming he's 31? Nope. They don't have an ID and they can make up any age they want. I mean, it's not like you can cut them open and count the rings like a tree. Also, the arrival date. Is it possible that they arrived last week, but claim they arrived in 2006? I mean, sure, why not? You can't prove it either way. It's just their word against what? See, fraud everywhere. When you open the free money floodgates, people will come. And boy, did they. Some estimates say there are over 800,000 people registered with DACA. I bet there's more than 2 million children here illegally. Do I have any proof? Nope. But I know that governments underreport immigrants. And Border Patrol says that over 100,000 people come across the border every month. So I'm sticking with about 2 million. Prove me wrong. Now, DACA officially ended in 2021. But did it really? Sure, it's not an official program anymore. But kids are still arriving as unaccompanied minors, and the U.S. government is still taking care of them. Well, taking care of them might not be totally accurate. Joe Biden has allowed over 257,000 illegal minors into the U.S. to be relocated, according to recent data from U.S. Customs and Border Protection. The link to that report's down below. They are not accompanied by parents and are often farmed out to foster or sponsor homes across the country. Keep in mind, these are official government stats which tend to underreport illegal immigration activity. So in summary, Biden has taken about 250,000 children and spread them around to friends and family across the country. These are young children without their parents. I know everyone has heard rumors about the elite and children, and it's a possibility that that guy with the island might not be the only one. Now, I don't have any evidence of any wrongdoing, so there's no point in wild speculation or rumor. But that's a lot of children. Now, the truly evil part of this plan is in long-term thinking. They are basically importing voters. Dems think that all brown people will vote blue forever. It's a bit racist and it really doesn't give them much credit. But importing children is especially cruel because you've separated them from the parents. Now, I hear Democrats really hate that, but here we are. Another bunch of hypocrites just thirsting for more power and control. They don't care about the kids. They just want control. Then they play the victim card. but it's on behalf of the children, saying things like, "You can't deport them, they're only children." Well, that works because most people are good, and they don't want to hurt the children. But their own parents sent them away to establish an anchor to import the rest of the family in a few years. Now, the first thing they do is cross the border, which is illegal. They need to go to a border crossing station and check in, register, apply for asylum. That's how you do it legally. If you just cross the border at any fence gap, that is illegal. So once they break the law, the second thing they do is become a leech, a parasite on our resources for the next 10 years or so. Kids can't earn any money. They don't contribute to society. I mean, they may one day, but for now, they just take and take and take and take. That's what all kids do. My kids were parasites for decades, but I chose to have them. They didn't sneak in and demand I pay for them. You see the difference? Side note, I don't hate immigrants. I have family members that are immigrants. When I was in Florida, I spent countless hours with a Haitian buddy to help him pass his citizenship test. He really wanted to be here, and I wanted to help him. He was a great guy, and he had a work ethic that would put almost everyone I know to shame. But this constant flow of immigrants with open hands and empty wallets is just too much. I think DeSantis has the right idea. You have to bring the problem to them directly. They can virtue signal sanctuary cities from thousands of miles away, but they can't handle it when it looks them in the face. I don't know why people are still accepting the narrative from the media. We need to change that. DeSantis sent these migrants to paradise. Martha's Vineyard? It's one of the nicest places in the country. He didn't treat them badly. He sent them to a place that claimed they wanted them. And it's an absolute dream destination. But the other side of the coin, the liberals on Martha's Vineyard didn't accept the diversity. They shipped them to internment camps on military bases. Now, they get to sleep in the same basic condition as prisoners in Auschwitz. Don't listen to what they say. Watch what they do. You can see how they really feel about migrants. So how does this end? Well, we're already in a recession. They claim we aren't by changing the definition, but come on. We're not blind or stupid. When money gets tight, the grocery store shelves get bare. People are going to start noticing that refugee camps get preference, and they always seem to have food, but Americans don't. Now, this is the worst case scenario. But it could happen. They did it with baby formula. Remember the pallets of formula that were shipped to the border while your child was hungry? That's where it will start, and I do not envy anyone in that situation. The migrants will be lucky if they can escape the camps and start walking back to Venezuela. Now keep in mind, they had a lot of help to get here. Trucks, buses, trains, a lot of support. There won't be any support on the way back. And it's going to be hot, thirsty, hungry, and unfortunately a perilous journey. Now this will probably start within the next 2 years. I also guess that after the midterms, Sleepy Joe realizes he's a lame duck and will sign an executive order creating DACA 2.0 or something like that. We should expect another few million hungry travelers. What do you think? You think it'll play out like this? Maybe another way? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Now, if you're finding any of my opinions helpful, I gotta ask you to hit that subscribe button. I need the help. Tiny little channels with my kind of stories are getting buried by algos. I really need your help. I appreciate that.